Ja, lite nazis. Now, normally, I did not plan to record today, but, I haven't done the voting or anything right and stuff that, so, I've been thinking about that also, the thing, right, that we only technically need to, the only file we technically need to keep is the lack mode file, really, if I'm being honest, and delete all the other files and stuff that, even the ones that aren't the lack mode right and stuff that, so, because, yeah. Because I know that I can do any percent faster than that, and I know I can do all bosses faster than just another file. And I'm keeping, of course, the Maria and Richter saves probably as well. But we are gonna go in here, and we're gonna do the magician run. Now I forgot if there were any password that would help. Technically, a magician run and stuff that, but let's just call it magician. Let's see if it fits. Magician. Yes, it exactly fits. So let's go with the magician speedrun. Now, one thing I also used to always think was that the stuff that is in the Richter place here would always be things. So we're actually using the smoothing thing going on now, basically. Now I feel that there are things that are connected to certain things. Okay, so this should be the last one. Boom. I don't know how many hearts I'm gonna go for and stuff that, and if we're gonna do some of the juggles and stuff that, or because we need to skip the text here, because otherwise we're not gonna do it fast enough. Because I would like to get the better stats. Okay, I took damage. Yeah, we got too many hearts there. I should have had less hearts there. But that's not the worst.
Count Dracula had risen with the aid of the dark.
So yeah, we're probably gonna change because the still gives you 70 even if you take damage, but I think we were quick enough in the fight. But I don't know, because I think it doesn't have to do with the speed. It is the time you take to do in the prologue, basically. So yeah, so winner color, what should we be? Like we could do some like city purple and stuff that, but then like the more blue thing is actually better technically. Yeah, let's do that, because that's kind of nice, because then it's like darker blue at the top kind of, and it's more purple-esque down at the bottom, right? That's actually pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty nice. So here's the thing, right? So magician run, we only have 25 MP at the start, but it's not good. I thought about also making it so that wait, we can actually check here. Okay, so 115, right? What is it? Is it defeat? Like I forgot what it was for the stats to be better and stuff that. Yeah, we are actually gonna allow us to use the Alucard gear until it gets taken away, basically, and we're gonna like force the gear to get taken away. We're not gonna do the death gear, and we're actually running. By the way, we're running with the whole. We're running with the full screen now because yeah. I just want to get used to the more full screen again, because full screen is what you ran back in the day, basically, when you played the game and stuff that. And of course, you obviously didn't have this big TV and stuff that back in the day, and stuff that. But there were like really good CRT TVs back in the day, by the way, so yeah, so, And one thing we're actually going to be doing, we are going to slay some these guys. I don't mind his voice at all actually when he casts certain spells and stuff that, so yeah. But yeah, we are gonna farm some levels here. If we can stop getting bullied, we should just stick to certain locations here. But the thing is, right, because each level is a big deal when it comes to like the spell casting and stuff, that aspect, you know, things. We did begin recording, yeah, we did. That would have been silly otherwise. Now, of course, as I've said, there are some very like what intelligence does. Intelligence, I think, does several things. If I remember correctly, also like spells like this doesn't always last the same amount of time. That I'm pretty certain that more intelligence makes certain spells last longer or something like that. But I don't know if that is the case or not. Because you see, sometimes it just lasts very, very short. And I don't know if it has to do with the amount of blood heals you get or whatever, right? Because yeah, because we are at maximum health, so we shouldn't really need to use this. And I think it might be that it breaks when you get hit. No, but okay, so I don't know how many levels we will grind for here and stuff that, because we're level 4 now, currently and stuff that, so yeah. Now the thing is, of course, if we get a bunch of circles here, circles don't sell for a lot, right? But the thing is also, they can also drop, technically, they can technically drop more than just the circle, like one of them has the other drop. But this is also to test, like, how big is the chance. I'm pretty certain that you can. Isn't Aldocart a code in this? So that's the question, right? So that's the most viable one. Because this is what we would need to farm during the summoner run. You would need to farm the monster vial and stuff like that. So I want to see what the drop rate is. Because right, we might be in a situation where the only way we can do a run is to have enough like hard drive space or have enough storage space. Because basically once a summoner gets to death and all the gear gets taken away, we're not allowed to use that gear anymore. And then all the kills after that we need to get with summons, basically. And that means that you have to use the monster vials already at that point. And you have no choice but to kill mermaids over and over, basically. And kill the bats there also and hope to get lucky. Now the monster vials, of course, will be greatly dependent on luck and stuff that, which is why you need a few levels here and stuff that, you know. So 84, 74 there, that was from killing 2, so it is still decent. Stuff that, yeah. Yeah, I'm not actually going to use the diagonal stick for a while. I do think that diagonal stick is a bit more resistance now. I don't know if it is possible on this controller to actually change the resistance of the control stick or something like that, but yeah. Now obviously 48 MP is the max. Now the main problem is, of course, that souls still cost 50 MP and stuff like that. But yeah. And 50 MP is not the greatest, of course. Also, big horse is very good though. Yeah, I forgot exactly what the drop rate of stuff like the circle is and stuff like that, but yeah. There are of course better places to stand when it comes to like farming these and stuff like that. Because there are circles that you can miss, of course, if you get damaged, you know, while certain things happen, you know, stuff like that, yeah. And I would usually say like, yeah, sometimes the console stick just, you know, doesn't read properly. Oh yeah, we could go for that without getting stunned, locked there to oblivion. I'm using that pad now again, but yeah. Now there have been one thing that I've been thinking about getting, but I don't know if they exist in my country or not, you know, and stuff like that. There are supposedly like gaming gloves, which I can understand, especially if you're playing like retro games and stuff like that, like, you know, especially if you need to do certain inputs, right? Like if you would be wearing gloves, you know, it would be a lot more comfortable to do So 176, what is one kill? 174, what is the kill there? So those give you slightly more, the purple ones. But they're the same type as the red ones, basically. Because you can see they look bigger, basically, is what they do. They look bigger. They're the biggest of the mermaids. Oh. Circle! Hell yeah! See, that's the thing, the worst thing is if the circle ends up in the water and stuff like that, yeah. I think we will go for one more level though, basically, and stuff like that, but maybe we need to go for more. Because the thing is, right, that if our MP is not enough, it kills Slogger and Gaibon easily and stuff like that, and that's really, really bad. Because we're not allowed to punch Slogger and Gaibon, we are only allowed to cast magic on it. And right then, there is no enemy for a long time that is a spellcaster and stuff like that. Now you might argue that, oh, the mermaids here, because it was big fire that makes them a spellcaster, but no. If something is a beast-like thing that like breathes fire, for example, then that's different because that's casting a spell. Ho ho ho! Our health is actually very low. We need one more kill though. There we go. Please. No, we don't have enough of it now. Yeah, we're not. Oh, we're not getting it, sadly. Okay, it was easier to cast with the D-pad here. Okay, heal up a bit there, they die from one slash, so there we can get some blood stains on ourselves. It should last long enough to get them on blood stain, there we go. Nice. Oh wow, it's that easy. I can use hold left again and then just do it. Right, because it's just that it saves time to do the death skip even if you skip the dialogue because it still has to spawn in and stuff like that there. So yeah, that was all it was for that. But I'm not gonna do the whole because otherwise you spend a long time in the menu, by the way. So yeah. But we have all been casting Dark Metamorphosis so far. The next spell we're going to be casting is the Spirit thing. So yeah, so we need to do that here, I think. Sword. Bonk. Bonk. Red Rust. Get yours away. Do we skip the first save? We probably do. Probably skip the first save. Because otherwise they spawn again, then we have to use more MP. I'm gonna use these a lot of times, the analog stick actually, because skip the high craze, even though I'm allowed to punch the blood skeletons, by the way, just because because the blood skeletons don't die anyway. They don't work as regular enemies and stuff like that. They don't die, they don't give XP, so those are the only things that I can really punch just to get them out of the way. Like I'm imagining them just grabbing Alucard and then he just punches them, right? Because like a magician doesn't really punch and all stuff like that, but it will just be on those type of enemies that cannot die. Okay, so they do die to one spirit orb. But keep in mind, right, that not every enemy is gonna be like something that we're gonna have to kill. Is that? I'm grabbing the leather shield though, even though we probably cannot use it. And we can only open this. We cannot open the other thing. Now, the thing is, right, is certain sub-weapon magical spells. There would be some sub-weapons maybe that I could consider being magical spells. The throwing knives or daggers or whatever, the knife or the dagger or whatever you want to call it, I don't consider it to be a magical spell. There are certain ones that you could definitely argue for. And stuff that none of these enemies are spell casting though. I forgot if we did a spell there on that skeleton, by the way. It was my bad if I did a normal kill there instead of doing the spell casting. Because obviously we're not going to kill all the enemies and stuff that, you know. Oh, so they ignore Spirit Bone then, the spell? Yeah, it's not good at tracking the Spirit Bones. Just wait here, just take it slow and wait. I get poisoned anyway. Yeah, so what is we are 52 now. Now here's the thing, right? If we can't defeat Slog and Grabon with the magic bar we have, we do have a neutral bomb, of course, because that's what we started with. You know, that is still will be allowed. The neutron bomb, because you could say that that's a spell and stuff that. And I'm pretty certain that there was an enemy that dropped neutron bomb. I mean, pentagram we know is being droppable by something. Should I not allow the neutron bomb? The axe is not a magical spell. I would like to do Pit Tetra Spirit Axe if possible here, so let's get more screen. Okay, come on, spells. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was mostly because of Tetra Spirit there. But it's only 20, which is still very good, but it's still the same as casting 4 of the regular spells. And sometimes I might, throw a punch in the air, but that's, what I would and stuff that, so yeah, Come on, get him! Haha! Get the bloody zombie. Hell yeah. And we can of course punch candles, like, imagine, right, if we didn't allow, like, oh no, you're not allowed to punch candles. Right, maybe I thought that this challenge would be harder than it is. I forgot that Alucard's, his intelligence is not very high, it's only 12, right, but it's still, like. But the thing is also the challenge is on a lot of bosses that certain bosses won't leave you alone when it comes to spell casting. Oh yeah, he rushes me, oh, get him. See, that's the thing, like, you don't often see that, you don't see them, like, doing the whole rush strat. And it's better sometimes to let them get close, by the way. Now you could argue that the Ricochet Stone is definitely like a spell. Almost, because it's a magical stone, because like it's rainbow kind of color, or whatever, right? It stands out. Let's get closer here. So, by the way, we have not come across a spellcaster yet. And we won't care about the damage, by the way, not yet anyway. I thought about going down into the area, but it's just that, you know, this, you could argue, is actually a spell, the hand thing, and stuff that. That's bad. So yeah. Let's go to the next area. Marble Gallery, Holy Water, I don't consider a spell either. There's only almost, I would say that there are probably 2 things, or maybe 3 things that I could consider a spell. One would be the lightning, of course, because obviously you shoot the lightning from whatever device it is and stuff like that, but you could say that the device is channeling magic, basically. You could also say that the Bible, or the Holy Book, or whatever is a spell, because of the fact that, okay, it's a book, but you throw it around yourself like a shield and stuff like that. But I feel like that would just make it too easy, and basically because the Bible you could use to avoid or to like, kill projectiles and stuff like that. This is where the dagger is. Yeah. There's the Ouija table. Oh, Ouija table. Now the thing is though that not going down here will put me behind a bit in terms of XP. Or do we just go and get the thing? Because I mean, knowing the spell damage we deal to something is very important to actually know the damage we're dealing. So we're level 7 and we have 52 MP. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it from here. But keep in mind that the low defense is not that bad in the beginning and stuff like that, but yeah, whoa. Okay, we're gonna have to skip you. At least for now. Okay, he went for that first. Okay, that's good. Go for this one, please. Yes. There are certain ones that you can easily do via distance, by the way. I would like to kill stuff, by the way, and stuff like that, but it's gonna be, yeah, a lot of it is gonna be just throwing that spell. But of course, there are also the things that we can. I don't know if that dropped anything. Because Hellfire is definitely gonna be something that I'm gonna allow us to cast, because there's 2 versions of Hellfire, of course. Because the Hellfire, right, because there are enemies that are weak to fire, clearly, and stuff like that. That aspect would have actually been good in this situation, by the way. Where is she going? She just peaced out. That's weird. I've never seen them do that. Did she get afraid or something like that? Oh look, it's the character from Bloodborne. Spirit Orb, hell yeah. Now Forbidden Route. Right, and certain people might argue that the gargoyle-like enemy, the flying thing, that's Cthulhu. But it's weird that they ended up calling that, but it was because of course, the squid thing was too similar to Cthulhu and they could have gotten sued or whatever. I think that they said that they were gonna sue them if they called that enemy that looked like the Cthulhu thing, or like it would be from Cthulhu, you know, to be the thing. Okay, fine, we are table. Does it just walk? Oh, it hit me from all the way under there, that was weird. Yes, we did gain a level there, and that was actually from killing the marionette. We could have, of course, killed more marionettes, by the way, because the marionette XP is actually very good at this point. So these are the spells we got so far. 50 MP is, of course, from casting souls and stuff like that, so yeah, I'm gonna try and get over. Yeah, we took a little bit of damage there, but, you know, that was worth it, actually. Okay, this is good. And it's gonna be a bit annoying. Or not really. Just inch forward here.
Wait, are you human? What are you doing here?
I've come to destroy this castle.
Likewise. I'm Maria. And you are?
Alucard.
Well, if you're a better swordsman than a speaker, perhaps I'll see you again. Farewell.
Her voice is all over the place, to be honest though, which is very weird. Right, and I don't know why people would say that they forget the clock room or whatever, like when people are like, oh, how are you supposed to figure out stuff that, and then also the ring description is, okay, of course if people cannot read properly then, you know, and they cannot of course help it, you know, because, you know, I did not mean to pick up the stone. The main problem, right, is that the stone is an easy input. The thing, you might by mistake like get the stone instead of, you know, getting another thing. Yeah, a lot of stuff costing 7 spirit, by the way. Ah! And then these guys we need to dodge. Skeleton versus Alucard fight. Endo Kuken! Endo Kuken! Can we give skeleton? Come on. Nice. I see that's the annoying thing, you can't jump over them. I would say that the clock is a magical spell though. I mean, the clock stops time, and that is something also that is like a spell in like a lot of like, not all fantasy things. It is a spell, but you know, please don't go for the candle. Okay, it doesn't matter. You say that, or are you gonna use it on the... Or are you gonna use it on the doppelganger? Yeah, because it's the only way to hit it with spells. That's the thing, that we are gonna have to have the clock no matter what, even if you wouldn't consider it a spell. Because otherwise, the doppelganger used mist to spell, if I remember correctly, that you need to have... and we need to remember that it is... Oh, they do get frozen. Or frozen. Come on. Okay, that was not a good use of the MP. Okay, that was not good. See, I know there isn't that many Diplos. See, the main problem is that the Diplo do have quite a lot of health. And we like, you know, we could freeze it and then just jump over it again. Okay, it doesn't have that much health. I thought it had way higher health than that. There we go. And that's gonna be it for that at least. And we're probably just gonna skip the plants. If we can get close enough to them, of course. We just rush the plant. Just rush them and then do the spell. We're not doing damage there anymore, so yeah, so do that. So yeah, boom. That was a bit scary though. I needed to be closer there, I think. Let's just do this. Do we have 50 MP yet? Nope. That's a bit of an issue. That we don't have the 50 MP yet. Because I'm not gonna wait for the 50 MP, by the way. Normally I would like to kill that guy, because that guy is gonna be a lot of levels. I'm pretty certain that he cannot go up here. Okay, so there is only, we only need to cast the spell once, technically. I did not mean to use the clock there. See, again, that's a problem, right? That sometimes you will end up using the clock when you don't need to. Let's refill our hearts first. I want to make sure we have maximum heart. But yeah, but the only time we're gonna allow the clock really is, you know, we're not gonna allow the clock a lot, you know, and stuff like that, because, you know, the clock is rather cheap. But we might need to, right, in order to cast spells safely. That feels like, you know, like a... And it is something also that where the clock is not just free to cast, like the clock is expensive. Like heart-wise, like that's the thing, like okay, like it's really good. But then it's like, okay, but if you use it now, then you will need to farm before a boss. And sometimes you might not be in a situation where you can farm hearts and stuff that, without having to backtrack, and we're never gonna like backtrack and stuff that, so, you know, like... So right, so we cannot use it always and stuff that, but yeah. And I'm not gonna consider the shield rod and stuff that to be like spells and stuff that, because that would make the run too easy. But we need to freeze this guy and then cast spells on him. Why? So they ignore him when he's... That was super lucky, by the way. That was very lucky. And keep in mind that those Diplos, by the way, I did consider to be spellcaster. Now, here's the thing, right? Is Alucard a spellcaster? Or is the Doppelganger spellcaster? Wait, I mean, it does do the Wing Smash, and as I've said, I don't consider the Wing Smash to be an offensive spell. I don't consider it to be a technical spell. But he also transforms into Mist. And Mist is definitely what I would call a spell. And stuff that, because, right, like I don't consider the Wing Smash to be a spell, because I consider the Wing Smash use... The Wing Smash comes with the battle we are default. But that thing, like, because if Wing Smash would have been its own relic, right? If Wing Smash would have been a relic, then that would have been different. Now, I know that there is a spell in that menu and stuff that, but, you know, so the Doppelganger, you know, because I never thought about it that way, you know, stuff that, and that would mean that his reward, which is the Gladius, is what you would allow. That would be the first weapon that we would allow, and stuff that, but, you know, like, what will I allow these to use? Like, will I allow it to kill enemies? Most likely not. It would only be, like, if you run out of MP on certain bosses. But I will, for the most part, try and gain a few levels at that point. But then when we're trying to gain the levels, I will allow myself to probably use the weapon and stuff that, you know. And in emergencies also, if, like, our health gets low. Or if we need to deal with an asshole like this. Now I cannot get the spell for the life of me. Boom. There we go. Good. Right, normally I would go up there and get the thing. I don't know if we can even do library properly. With your spells, right? We might have to use slay things with the sword in the library just because he doesn't die in 2 spells. Right, I mean, for the most part, they're easy because you can use stand from afar and use cast spells. That thing is definitely magic though. That thing, because the rapier does not have that functionality. See, I managed to cast a spell there again. See, that's the issue with using like a sub-weapon and stuff that, you know, like it's very easy to use cast a spell by mistake. We could go and get the bronze thing there, but you know, yeah. Now I will allow this on the ectoplasms because the ectoplasms are very dangerous otherwise. And stuff like that, because killing them with spells is not the easiest thing in the world because of the way they move. And normally I say there are certain areas where they won't go. And it's a thing like there's no way you're gonna kill the spell books with spells. Really, unless you're willing to get hit a lot and stuff like that, you know. So there are definitely certain times when I will allow, like, yes, you might say in the beginning they don't fly very quickly, which is true, you know, and stuff like that. And you can collect all the books and then cast spells on them, like cast Tetra Spirit, cast Soul Steal, stuff like that. But there will definitely be, but because otherwise the run would just be way too long, by the way, if every single mob would be black spell casting and stuff like that, you know. Because we will do it for the majority of the run, by the way, and not like attack with attacks like this. So that's yeah. So that's the fairy scroll. Now I will allow some of the wolf movement, by the way, to get certain other things, which means that okay, like we don't have the thing now, by the way. So yeah, but this is gonna be a regular do run, which we can use spell cast to death. Left. Okay, it's better to use individual press them rather than doing the whole gliding. Because normally, right, what you do in fighting games, you used to do the whole gliding motion. But it's better if you use press the buttons individually and then do the spell, because the spell has no time limit. Like, you don't need to do it super quickly, you can do it slow. I say that and then I mess up. So I was pressing the buttons really slowly. Okay, so okay, you see, but that's how annoying they are to deal with otherwise. And we are going to take a lot of damage if we do that, so yeah.
It's been a long time, old one.
Why, it's Master Alucard. Come to visit, have we?
I need your help.
Oh, but young Master, I could never betray the good Count.
You won't go unrewarded.
Really? In that case, just tell me what you need.
Here's the thing, right? This guy was the librarian really good job, because it looks like he's trying to imitate the whole librarian a bit, because he knows that he's such a like character.
How about this?
So anyway, let's go over this so far, the enemy list. As you could say, like magically animated, that doesn't make it a spellcaster, because specific hit bites is spellcasters, which they are not. Because the only like spellcasters, because they're obviously not spellcasters. Keep in mind, right, that if Slog and Gavin, if one of them would have counted as a spellcaster, then I would have allowed the Basilard to have been gotten and stuff that as a ward afterwards, because there's no room directly afterwards. Now you can technically say that the room above that thing would have been allowed, which I think is, I forgot exactly what it was, but yeah. This is of course obviously a spellcaster, because she cast a fireball and stuff that she cast very, very obvious fire spells and stuff that, so that can draw pentagram and then a food item, I think it is. And then of course Doppelgang is a spellcaster. I've said already that the spellbook is a spellcaster, but not the Duran. I don't consider to be a spellcaster, even though you can clearly say. And Magic Tome, for example, is a book of ancient weapons, so that's not a spellcaster, even though it's a Magic Tome. Stuff like that, yeah. But we need the Yule of Open.
Thank you.
Are there gonna be stuff that I will consider, like Magic Missile? Shoots a Magic Arrow, yeah, that is definitely a spell Magic Missile. that I would definitely say is a spell that you would be allowed to actually get a bunch of stuff that magic missile, because that's very clearly a spell because of what it says. And technically library cards is also a spell, by the way, so keep that in mind. You can say that all of these Barbarian Ice Band also spell caster weapons and stuff like that, but yeah. But we won't be allow us to buy like the circlet or the silver crown and stuff like that, but yeah. Let's just get that map as well there, because the map will just give us a bunch of boom. There we go. It doesn't give you all of the locations obvious on the map, because you can see that there are obviously rooms there that are not connected there on the map, so yeah. So yeah, and now I got Yule of Open, of course, but yeah. So now I'm allowing, now that we have done that, by the way, that we've gone through the area and we've shown that we can cast spells and stuff, that will allow us to also kill the Durons with their weapon and stuff like that. Now, of course, there will be a less issue once our spells are more powerful, by the way, and stuff like that, which, you know, is important, you know, and everything. Because once the spells are more powerful, then enemies will die easier, and then it will just be easier to, you know, try and do the inputs and stuff like that, you know, so. Now, of course, there are probably going to be certain things that we cannot fight and stuff like that with the spells. Like the Olrox fight is definitely going to be a bit annoying unless you're able to soul steal and stuff like that, but the main problem is soul steal costs a lot of MP and stuff like that, because soul steal always costs 50 MP. There's no way to decrease spell costs. That's the thing, right? Like, there's a hot broach that, you know, like makes it so that you use less hearts, which is, you know, good and everything, but, you know, there is nothing similar for spells, sadly. There's no like, oh, this decreases cost of spells or whatever, right? But yeah. But Mojo Mail also is, Mojo Mail is only from a single enemy in the game, which again is a bit of an issue, I think. I'm pretty certain, right, that Mojo Mail is only from Tin Man, and stuff that I don't think it drops from anywhere else. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm cursed. Come on. Yeah, that's enough to actually full heal me there, so yeah, Gladius is allowed. That's the only thing so far. And keep in mind that yes, we need to get the spell casting thing from the, you know, from the thing. Yeah. Now, will I allow a rapier from a Durier or whatever, or the high grace? Yes, but it's only. But it's not allowed via farming, basically, is what I would do with the Duron, basically. Because otherwise we could use farm up an armor, but I mean, Hide Curace is not that powerful. That's the thing, like Hide Curace is not a powerful armor, and stuff like that, yeah. Right, and I do allow attacking all the way up here, you know, and stuff like that. Because again, I'm trying to think also like, oh, how long will the run be? Like, because the thing that's important now is to get levels, so our intelligence goes up and stuff like that. So that it makes it, because I mean, the main challenge is going to be bosses, but it's not going to be all of the challenges. We are actually going to go back, by the way. We're going to go to the starting area a bit quick, even though there's nothing else really we can do here. I mean, there are two things we're gonna do, I'm pretty certain. We get this, we get the hot maxed up here, which is important, but then we're also gonna go back, and we're gonna kill these guys, of course. Bloody zombie. And then we do this strat here. Or that's not how you do it. I forgot, I know that you can get it without anything else. Do you just fall off here, or do you just like jump? I think you jump, yeah, there we go, that's how you do it. Because it's too hot maxed up, and that's gonna be important. That's the only thing you can really do for now, by the way, because we don't have anything special yet here. It's that candle also, which is money. Gain the money. But yeah, and you can say, for example, that is there a familiar that is a spellcaster, by the way? Yes, but the main problem is you would need to gain enough levels with it for it to technically cast spells. And that is, of course, you could technically say that the fairy should be allowed because the fairy can actually cast spells on you, and that you might say that that's how you have to use most of the healing items, that it has to be used via the thing. And so that you could say that that's a requirement. And stuff that. I mean, the Gladius damage isn't nice or anything, right? It's not like nothing to write home about that, because there's a limited amount of like spellcasting enemies, which is why of course once we get our first quote-unquote spellcasting like item and stuff, that once we get, for example, any kind of circuit, really including like the gold circuit and stuff, that then like things become so much easier. I see that's the problem, that sometimes it will prioritize the Medusa heads. And he dies from soul seed, that's good. That was mostly to kill that enemy, by the way. But that was not the best use of the soul steal, of course. Elevator activated. Now technically you can use, of course, the wolf form to get the thing, by the way. But yeah, so Solo Wolf is gonna be really big, by the way, and stuff that. But the question is, I don't know how long I'm gonna be using the clock for and stuff that, like, I thought about again, like saying that the book should be allowed and stuff that, but the book cost very little MP to cast, with. And I'll save because the book would be there otherwise. Let's just save again. We don't really need to. Because yeah, there are also gonna be some issues with the whole spellcasting thing, There are gonna be certain issues. I think that's a bit nicer, actually. So it's a bit darker like that. I mean, I'm pretty certain that we could technically go through this area, which would be huge, by the way, because we could use wolf form. Now, the wolf, of course, doesn't have any special. Wow. I did not know that was designed to do that, to spawn like that. I was just testing, like I wasn't gonna slash it, I was just seeing that if we could get that normally. But imagine that, right, not paying attention there and stuff that, and then taking all that damage. Because this, yes, you could say, oh, you jump past, but, can you jump past that just? Oh, and then it doesn't spawn. Wow, that's an RNG spawn that can actually happen. And I always thought that, okay, like, why is this guy hanging there? I always thought that there was just supposed to be like, oh, bring the sword car there, and the sword car cuts the thing, and the thing falls down or whatever, right? And then it's, it does something. Or whatever, right? Because, yeah. But we will go down here, and we will get the health max up here from the thing with the wolf form. Because the wolf form, again, I would consider to be spellcasting and stuff like that. But to clarify, not everything that the wolf does is spellcasting and stuff like that. I don't consider everything to be spellcasting that the wolf does. So So there we go, get a garnet there. So, yeah, and down here. So still. And then you stand there and wait, and you will go down the platform. I think we're in the correct position. I don't think you need to hold down. Maybe we're standing in the wrong. Oh. And that's the Knuckle and the Mirror Craze. Now the thing is, you could say that that's a magic interaction because that's a magic elevator, and then it senses that, oh, you're a spellcaster or whatever, right? You know, like you could argue that, you know, and stuff like that, because yeah. But yeah, so technically we could grind the Diplos now and stuff like that, so yeah, I won't allow the extra cost. But yeah. I do allow the Gladius to be used here now and stuff like that, because you know the main thing is to get through the corridor once with spellcasting, right? But even though the majority of it is gonna be spellcasting, right? It's just that if we use spellcast every single mob, then that's just gonna be too slow. But once we have, of course, high enough intellect, then that's when the spellcasting should take over more and stuff like that. But yeah. Clearly, if the Diplo Cephalus, if they drop the pentagram, then the pentagram will be allowed to be used. And I could farm for pentagram, of course, but you know. Keep in mind also that I do allow our skill, of course, to be a, because it's definitely a spellcaster enemy. We could go into Colosseum, of course. And stuff that, although in Colosseum there is no spellcaster. Is there? I'm trying to think if there's technical spellcast in Colosseum or not. Because I mean technically right now that it makes more sense, right, in my opinion, that you were not meant to go to. Because the thing that you will have freshest in mind, most likely, it's when you get down there and you normally go down to library, most people will probably check what this way is, and then they will see a blue medical door, and then it will say something sealed by, what is it? Let's turn it off. Let's turn the relic off, by the way, and see what it says. I forgot what it said. Magically sealed, yeah. So it's magically sealed, so yeah. And of course, the underground area is going to be a bit of a challenge though, by the way. Especially if we quote-unquote have to do a lot of spell casting. We can get the library card here though. Which is really what I'm going for, is going to be very important. Stuff like that, yeah. Now there are also like certain enemies that you know, like, that are definitely like spell casting, that I didn't think was spellcasting the first time through, because I thought about them all right. Because, you know, that's why I allow the gladiators and stuff that. You might think that that's a cheap cop-out or whatever, right? Because otherwise, right, we would have had no way to kill the enemies easier, and we would still probably not be this far at all, right? How much long can we record? Okay, we're getting close to the end now of the recording. This is bad though. So they do die in 2 spells. That's important to know though. They die in 2 spells. But again, right, there are enemies that we can skip, right? That we don't need to kill all enemies with spell casting. It's just that, yes, it is nice to gain a few levels, but then if they're in really bad positions and you can skip the enemies, then it's just better to skip them. This guy should be free, depending on who it attacks first. Yeah, that's bad, and it's attacked the upper one first. Now it goes to the lower one. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, if we had a wolf start, we could actually make it over and stuff like that, but we don't. Now, yeah, the skill fight is going to be interesting, actually. Again, I would say that skill is very much a spellcaster. So the question is, right, do we allow everything? Because technically the skill boss fight starts here. Although the worm is not a spellcaster, but will we allow everything that are in these rooms, maybe? Yeah, some magic damage there slow, really. I don't think we're hitting it properly or whatever. I think it actually has more health if it actually comes out, because if we cast the spell early, it just dies. So that's really annoying when it only gets one hit in there. And that's of course resist ice, I think down there, yeah, resist ice. That will be allowed as well, and whatever this is, but I will pick them up when we defeat the boss, by the way, so yeah. We're probably gonna need to soul steal though. Yeah, we're gonna need to soul steal on this boss, and that's not gonna be the easiest thing in the world. I mean, that works. Did we get any spellcasting thing, by the way? Did we get any, Yeah, so maybe the Hellfire is actually good on this boss. Again, right, if we run out of MP, we're gonna have to Alright, we can slash the things. I reduced a lot of that for the rest here. I think we would have died if we would have gotten hit by that here, so yeah. And again, I don't allow a shield yet, by the way, because there's nothing that is a shield from spellcasting yet. We do have one more heal here. I don't think we have any other heal than this though. How much MP do we have? We have 14 MP. Yeah, I mean, if I would have been good at the soul steal input, then this would have been no problem at all. That's the thing, right? Like, sometimes it's just like absolute. I think that on the PS4 controller it's actually easier to do the soul steal input. Yeah. But that's definitely a spellcasting boss, so Crystal Cloak is allowed. And whatever else the stuff is here. Because I consider it all of them to be a reward from the boss because of the fact that the water disappears and stuff like that. But this is just a healing item right, this is the pot roast. So yeah, we could have picked that up and this would have been a bit easier. Yeah. So Scimitar is allowed as well, and Scimitar is stronger than Gladius by quite a bit.